Right then. Now I'm actually live. How are you, Fuzzy? Let's see here. Bevy streams. Bevy streams. Bevy streams. Bevy Jam is starting. I am okay. I did not stream last night. I was feeling complete crap and I opted out. But I'm back because I cannot be defeated. That's why. What flavour is Bevy Jam? It's a good question. I don't precisely know. Raspberry is a potential. I was thinking bird flavoured, like poultry, since it's a bevy of birds. It's a real bird theme. Okay, we got chat happening. We got sound happening, as you have already proven. And we appear to be good. We do a team shout out. See who else is happening. We got everybody, and Wolfric gets it this time. We got Rad, we got Finn, we got Crazy Mike. Lots of people didn't stream last night, but gave you the chance to play a new game. Nice. Which one? I know, even I thought Wardrobe would probably stream, but he didn't. I was not feeling so good, I guess. Finn's busy shooting walls and getting yelled at by Karen. Excellent. Status quo then. Scorn. I do not know this game. Ooh. Atmospheric first-person horror adventure game. Interesting. I have not really delved into the horror genre, to be honest with you. It's a unexplored area for me. What did you think of it? First-person puzzle game about exploring the ruins of a dead something. Staggeringly impressive horror world. Very R.L. Geiger again. I'm going to have to... Oh, of course. Wait, R.L. Geiger or H.R. Geiger? Maybe this is a different person. H.R. Is this the person who did the Cthulhu illustrations or no? The artist behind what? Behind Alien. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Alien, I watched when I was a kid and it scared the crap out of me. I was so terrified. Okay, so where's our status quo currently? We have the teleporting Kiwi. He just teleports between cells. I love that it's up and I can just play it when I want to check where we're up to. We have, that's right, we got the life counter and the score counter kind of working. We have the bugger working. You got to have the bugger. And so much scary but kind of gross. Interesting. There's a fine line, isn't there? Hey, Ooga Gabooga. How you doing? Okay. I hope it's no more than about midnight for you. I know this usually involves you staying up late. Oh, we got ads in a sec. Okay, and all right, so we transition to game over works, and then we go back into new game, and that works too. All right, cool. So 10 p.m. Very nice. Almost civilized hours. All right, so now we need some kind of animation, and I'm going to start with, I need to, in my other game, I move from tile to tile, and I just kind of, as I get close to the center point of the tile, I just stop and adjust. I think that's similar to what we've got going here, because we have no physics, we have no gravity. We're just going to direct ourselves to a tile, but we need to follow a curved path to the tile, like an arc, rather than a teleport, which is what we're doing now. So I need to think a little bit about how that actually works. There's obviously going to be known math for an arc between 2 points, right? So have to use your TV to use your laptop. So on the big screen. Oh, very nice. I feel so huge. Okay, so arc between 2 transforms. We'll put Bevy in there, but honestly, it's probably not a big deal. How do I calculate an arc path rather than a straight path? Well, oh yeah, here we go, arc 2D. A primitive representing an arc between 2 points on a circle. Well, that's not quite the same thing. Shape rotation is angle. Because what we could do is do a straight animation and then make it curve, which would also be an option. We got ads. An arc has no area. If you want to include the portion of a circle's area swept out by the arc, use the circular sector. Circular segment. I feel like I almost need a tutorial kind of situation going on here. What I might do is check in with Big Green Robot and see what its description is to help me summarize the searches. Verify I am human. I am, as it happens. You are not. You are not at all. I hope nobody was badly affected by the old CrowdStrike outage. That was a bit of internet fun. Okay. In Bevy, show and or summarize the calculation of an arc pathway between 2 transforms. Define the 2 transforms, calculate the arc path, determining the indeterminate points along the arc. That makes sense. Visualize the arc using Bevy's rendering capabilities. Define the transforms, blah, blah, blah. Calculate the arc path. So here it's, we'll assume a 2D arc on the XY plane. Sure. So it's storing them as a vector. Adjust the center to get a proper arc. And it looks like it's just using basic math functions to calculate it, but I'm pretty sure what Bevy was suggesting was to use arc2D. Visualize the arc. Create entities for each point along. No. Use a mesh or lines. But we don't want that. We want to move an entity along that arc. Did I have to reset any systems due to the outage? At work, you mean? No, not at all. There are no emotes to unlock while using the reward thing. Oh, do you mean like the... I know what you mean. You mean modify a single emote or something like that, or choose an emote to whatever? Yeah, I think that's my fault. I think somewhere along the line I've screwed up my Twitch settings. I have to get Fanny to explain it to me. They seem to understand this kind of thing. Yeah, at work. No, surprisingly, we'd spent a lot of time. I don't think I'm breaking any NDAs by saying that we, like many other people, use Goober. Yeah, I know. I'm a Goober. Use CrowdStrike. And we'd not long ago spent quite a bit of time implementing it, but we're not a Microsoft hosting environment. So the Windows stuff really didn't affect us at all. So we were actually fine, but, we use a lot of AWS and that kind of thing. Linux containers, that sort of stuff. So not a big deal for us at all. But it was certainly scary to think that a third party can push an update that'll just break everything, right? That's just ridiculous. I hate that. I hate that I'm not sure that we derive enough benefit for that kind of risk. I don't know. Scary stuff. So this is not what we want, but it's interesting to see it described. Why aren't these companies using Linux? I think there was a comment from someone saying that the Rust people were going to be feeling very smug. I don't know that I'm feeling very smug. So let's look at arc2D. An arc has no area. An arc between 2 points on a circle. But it's got to use a radius. Yeah, see, I don't know. What we want, let's see if we can convince it differently. Say that we have a sprite located at a transform. Actually, we'll call it a sprite 2D bundle because that's what it is. With a transform having translation x, y. How can we calculate an arc over which to move the sprite to a new translation, I don't know, A, B. Again, I think it's going to use basic math to do it. Quadratic Bezier curve formula, yeah. It likes to suggest other questions to me. The trouble is its bevy knowledge is so out of date. I wonder if I can find an example using arc2D in the bevy examples. Let's see if we can find that. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can half-ass it myself, but I'd just like to understand what the way is, you know? Docs rs bevy. No, actually we want GitHub. Bevy examples, yeah. So 2D, 3D animation, maybe animation? Animated transfer. What's cubic curve? How to work with cubic curves. No, that's a cube, that's 3D. Let's try 2D. Custom GLTF vertex. No, that's shaders. How can you read that? I cannot compare this to Lua or Python with syntax. Yeah, very different. Very, very different. More akin to... it's not even really akin to C++. It kind of reminds me of a sort of weird combination between Go, C++, and a functional language. And I say functional because it has these return types that are results and errors rather than just a single return type. Rotation, sprite animation, sprite flipping, bounding, mesh. And we'll check sprite animation, but I don't think this is it. I think this is sprite sheet loops. What if we take bevy out of the equation and just say move a sprite between two transforms? This is Unity, but maybe some of the language will look similar and we can then improve our searches. Vector 3 lerp. Because in, if we look at the code that I use for 6 ways, I think it's under movement, move entities. So we get target pos and basically our current pos. And then we get the direction, and then we just gradually increment the translation. But that's got compass points and all this shit. Are we immediately adjacent? And then we just stop. Otherwise, let speed factor equals stat speed times time divided by distance. Then we get the minimum of that. And then we use transform translation lerp, which if we look at that, a linear interpolation between self and the right-hand side based on S. Do the result, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, interpolation as in on the way to, in this case. And that works for me. And we get nice smooth animation, like if we go LCD 6. And a cargo run, assuming it's not died already. Try asking, no, that is GPT-4. Like I understand how to move in a straight line. I'm just curious as to what the kind of idiomatic way to do it in Bevy is in terms of describing an arc rather than a straight line. And now Rust Analyzer is blocking me because it's being a prat. A total and utter prat. Okay, seriously? Come on. You're better than this. Oh, God damn it. Rust Analyzer is like, nah, screw you. I'm going to finish first. Ask Tally for an image here. Please describe. I want to say that you get the arc and then interpolate along that arc, but I just don't like using a lerp, but I need to see an example. I want to see an example. Here we go. All right, so this... if we look at the way he moves, if I move him in a straight-ish line, I guess this is going to be our best bet. He kind of just moves along that path, but what he's actually doing is moving towards the center of each hex in turn. And then once he gets there, he recalculates for the next step. Which is basically what I want. It's nice to see that some of this animation actually works now. I just need to fill in the rest of it. Yeah, so that's what we want. We want movement towards the center of the tile, but we want to describe it as an arc. And I need the math for that. Yes, I could probably do it the way ChatGPT is telling me to, but I'd really like to know what's available. What is available on that lerp? There's a lerp or there's a lerp. Hang on, wrong search. Lerp, something or other. Lerp morph, lerp hue. Lerp morph weights. What is lerp morph? Update weights based on weights in keyframe with a linear. No. What about bivy, lerp, curved? I'm really searching now. Color, bivy state curves, transform. State saving and management crate for a bivy game engine via curved keyframes. Sorry, this is terribly boring watching me Google shit. But it has to happen. No, this is 3D. That's not helpful to me. How do I add a curve to a lerp progression? Interesting. Use a curve asset. Time to try Godot after failing my first try. You fell asleep. I've tried. I can officially say that I've tried Godot. But it's just the point and click is not something that I immediately leap to understanding. Building curvable track. I watched a stream on reading the Bash documentation once. Trust me, this is fine. I think, whatchamacallit, what's his name? Tej, the Vim guy. He once read through the entire Vim manual on stream. I think it's still out there on YouTube somewhere. This is braver man than I am. Okay, let's think about this. Bivy, transform, curved pathway. Animated transform, no. Cubic curve, a flexible iterator used to sample curves with arbitrary functions. Curves let you define and look up how far along the path from 0 to 1 your movement should be at a specific time. Not interested in Vim enough for that. I wasn't even interested in Bash, but it made for good background noise. Sometimes that's all you need, right? Maybe we should stop using the word transform and just say move sprite along curved pathway. 2015 HTML5. Whoa, that's tiny. Using tweens. Easing. How to move an object along a curve. Linear. This is JavaScript. I don't think this is what we're looking for. Moving 2D sprite object in curve path. Use rigid body add force. No, this is physics. I feel like I need to actually ask on the Discord. How to smoothly let an object move along a curved line. With rotation taken into account to follow a curved line. Look into Bezier curves and Hermite curves, both of which you can compose into splines. Next question, what's a spline? Parametric splines. Need a point every 10 pixels distance. Huh. Okay, maybe we're getting somewhere. Let's try sprite Bezier path. Plot nodes along a UI Bezier path in SpriteKit. Sprite follow Bezier curve. Or is it Bezier? Ha! It's a Bezier curve. Bezier curves are used to make a smooth curve between 2 points. To move the path from left to right, choose a starting point on the left and choose an ending point on the right. The 2 control points determine the shape of the path to take from left to right. Okay. Great animation, by the way. How cool is that? I mean, I'm not even the slightest bit mathy, and that's still cool. All right, let's try Bezier curve. Animation cubic curve. Maybe that's the same thing? Oh, this was the one we looked at before that was 3D, right? Oh, that's cool. Okay. How to work with cubic curves. Next question. Are cubic curves equivalent to Bezier curves? Usually cubic splines. A Bezier curve, the 2 of the control points form the end points. Okay. So we get a curve, which is a component. Define your control points, which are just translations by the look of it. Make a curve. Okay, so cubic curve is Bezier equals cubic Bezier. Huh. TIL. All right. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm picking it up. Spawning a cube to experiment on. No. Some light to see things. Don't care. Ground plane. Don't care. This is all 3D, but that's okay. For transform, cubic curve, and mute query. And the query is transform curve. Okay. Draw the curve. And change the transform translation. Oh, interesting. Okay. Now the question is, do you do this once? Like, do you run this? Do you store the current position that you're on the curve, and then run it once every update, kind of thing, and just move to the next position, or is that going to result in like a really clunky looking animation? Let's experiment with some of this shit because it sounds interesting. I note that ChatGPT was essentially of no help whatsoever, but that's okay. Let's go with this thing. But I don't know that yes, we need it to be a component so that we can store it with the player, right? Right? I feel like yes. Does it need to be stored with the player? Probably yes. Okay. Let's go with yes, and let's go play. Oh, we need to get out of the 6 ways directory. Back into player, which is getting too big, and I should break it down, but never mind. It is too in the crate hierarchy. Shut your mouth. Let's go with cubic curve. So player, component speech bubble, component curve, cubic curve vec3, and then we'll add it. Control points. I don't really know what those are going to be, but I suspect that one of them will have to be... Actually, maybe we should construct the curve on the fly. And then just animate it along the curve. I don't know. Do you want to do that all in one update? Like, is there any real reason why the curve should be stored with the player? How are they doing it? Are they running the entire animation on update? Update, animate cube. Looks like it. For transform cubic curve, draw the curve on every update, and then change the translation. So what are they using time for? Oh. Okay. So they're changing it based on the current time. Interesting. All right. Okay. I'm getting it. I think I'm getting it. I may be getting it. I might be getting it. I might possibly be getting it. Time, transform, curve with player. We don't have gizmos. Gizmos are not a thing. Also, I don't like the fact that you called it query. It should be, I guess, player for now. And then we're going to go with this being last because alphabetizing is a thing that we do because we're me. Cubic curve in mute player, except it's not going to be a for in. So we want to do let OK transform cubic curve. This is interesting. I like this. I'm learning. I'm learning the thing. You're starting to remember why you fell asleep on Godot. What, because of listening to me or because you're experimenting with Godot? Either is fine. Player get single mute else return. Now, draw the curve. We don't need that. Go away. Position takes a point from the curve where 0 is the initial point and 1 is the last point. Interesting. Okay, but now, well, first of all, we need to call that function. So on update, swear timer, run if in state swearing, movement, run if in state playing. And then we're going to go, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do a thing like movement, jump? Is that a thing that we do? It is the thing that we do. Nice. I've yet to experiment much with system sets and that kind of thing, but this will do. All right, so now we need to add the curve. We need to add the curve. We need to add the curve. We need to add the curve, which means we need to create the curve, which means we need sensible values for... We need to know where we're starting and where we're going. We don't know that. So I don't know that it makes sense to... Maybe we need to update the curve whenever we update movement. And that way we'll always be pointing in the right direction. But for now, can we just add a default curve? Let's just try this. So where do we create it? Where do we create it? We create it there. control points. Obviously, all of those are going to be wrong. What is it using to do that? Oh, math vec 3. Okay, interesting. Use bevy math vec 3. Okay, and then we create the curve using using this cubic Bezier new control points to curve. To curve. Nice. Okay. Good. So now my question is, what do I do with that? I put that in. That needs to go there. This needs to go, well, actually, there's the thing. Do you put the capital letters first? Maybe you do. These little things that matter not. Except they matter to me. Okay, that is not a thing, and that is because why? What is Bezier? It's a cubic curve vec 3, which it shouldn't be. It should be... Oh, we got to add some. It should be a curve Bezier. There we go. There we are. And we'll call this animate jump. Blah, blah, blah. Animate jump. All right. I'm happy with that. Now, in its current form... Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
Were you still thinking where to tack the fridge together?
Yep, but can it be this evening? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Animation jump is not a thing, so... Cool. Now, in its current form, that will have horrible results, like horrible results. It will constantly move the sprite back to those jump positions. And then, presumably, I have no idea what happens after that. Okay, let's just see what it does. I'm curious. I am curious. He is following a curve. That's funny. He's just following his own little curve. Now, what happens if you take all those control points out? Like, should it? I don't want it to follow that weird arcing curve like they do here. That doesn't make any sense. But that's what he's doing right now in a very small scale. So what happens if we make the first one in the block its current translation? This player file is getting too huge. So let's go with wow, that was bad. Translation, transform, translation. Do I have to convert that in some way? Probably, right? Nope, it's happy with that. Okay, and then I don't know. Transform, translation, x plus 50. Transform, translation, y plus 50. Actually, they'll need to be f, right? Yeah. And then they can't all be the same, obviously. Just trying to think what they would have to be. We start at transform translation, then we add 50 to both x and y. Then add 100 to x. I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's just see what it does. Absolutely no idea. It's a curve. It's a great little curve. He's just flying off into space. Ghost Kiwi. Okay, this is good. This is progress. So if we were to... Do we even need there to be 4 points? What happens if you just put 3 points in? I assume it... Well, let's take this one out. Just for the hell of it. Oh, nope. It doesn't like that at all. It needs to be 4. Okay. So the plus 100 thing didn't work, but I'm just curious how you shape it. So if we go x plus 50, yeah, if we go, that's too big anyway. Let's go x plus 10, y plus 10, and then the third is actually more like, how do you if you go plus 10 plus 10, then plus 20 plus 20. No, because if you go y plus 20, that doesn't make any sense. So let's go y plus 10 plus 20. It's essentially the same shape. And then x plus 30 and y plus 0. And just see what happens there. Whoops. It'll be smaller. Oh, whoops. I killed him. Okay. I mean, that's similar. It's obviously way too slow. Stop. Thank you. So that's kind of starts there. I want to see if I can get it down this way, just so that I can understand what's involved. So obviously it's going to have to be y minus quite a bit, right? Interesting. Okay, this is good. This is good. We're learning. We're learning. So let's try x plus 10, x plus 20. Sure, why not? But transform y, I don't think we want to go far up, right? So let's try 5. And then translation x should then be still 20, I think, but translation y needs to become like -5. And then x plus 30, I can't remember how close that was, but translation y minus 10? I don't know. And can we make it slightly faster? Time elapsed seconds sine plus 1 divided by 2. What's the element of speed in that? Don't know. We'll find out. Okay. Needs to go down another sort of, what, 20? And it goes too far over to the right. So it needs to come back about at least 10. Okay, so we'll eventually get our curve. All right, so let's just remove these, change these values down quite a bit. So 5, translation y plus not very much at all. In fact, I'm wondering if we should change translation y negative always. So let's try -5. X plus 10 minus 10. Almost need 2 curves, one for the initial little hop. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Sounds like quite the fancy approach. I think we decided that the y movement wasn't enough. So why don't we start with, we'll reduce it initially, but then we'll go -15 and then -30. And then this, it needs to be less. Okay. We'll get the perfect curve eventually. That's actually getting closer. But it doesn't bounce enough. It doesn't bound outwards enough. It goes too far down. So it needs to go upwards first, I think. Because I refuse to believe that the original developers used like compound Bezier curves to make their, well, maybe they did. Who am I to judge? +5, +5, +10, -15, -20, maybe?
I hate her.
Oh, what's wrong, baby? Our dog is being bad.
Oh, you know, just another. She decided that she'd eat her hoof on the blanket.
Good to know.
And then decided that she couldn't reach her hoof through the blanket once she buried it in it. So then she chewed through the blanket to get to her hoof.
Yes, there's a certain kind of logic in that.
Yeah, but there's a perfect hoof-size hole right in the middle of our people blanket.
I'm sorry.
It's not
Mind you,
funny.
our people blanket had become somewhat of a dog blanket, you've got to admit.
I hate to.
Okay, so again, the initial part of the curve is not too bad, but it doesn't go out far, and then it kind of slides outwards at the end, which is wrong. So it needs to go out, out, and come back kind of thing. Okay, we'll get there. Ask the big green robot for a compound Bezier curve formula in assembler. I know, right? Okay, so we are always increasing the X translation. But I'm wondering if we need to kind of come back in a little bit. Like it needs to be a large increase initially. I wonder if you can have more points than 4. And then another large increase and then a smaller increase. And I'm wondering if this Y needs to be bigger too. Oh, right. This is not an incremental thing. So that's probably part of the problem. This is such, talk about trial and error. This is where point and click would be actually useful. Oh, that's actually getting there. While poking around the other day, I found out that Rust has an ASM macro. Yeah, that's right. I did know about that one. Okay, so it needs to come back in on the X. But this is as close as we've been so far. Also, I should stop changing the Y. The Y should always, the Z should always be 1, not 0, because it's flickering. Okay, so the Y needs to come in quite a bit. See, that's weird though. Oh no, the X needs to come in. Yep. How you doing, Fern? If you want to challenge yourself, you could write this in x86 assembler. I know. Could and will are two very different things. Plus 10 plus 10, plus 25 minus 15, and then minus 20. I mean, it's close. I feel like maybe it goes out a little too far. And then it doesn't come back to the center properly. From we've been working on a kiwibert clone for a few days now, actually a bit over a week now. And we're working on animating along kiwibert curves, which I have never done before. So we're just exploring how that actually works. And we're trying to find the right curve to follow a path between two isometric tiles, which I think we're getting close. Is this the Metal Gear Solid radio sound effects? I don't know. Maybe. It's just me and Bitwig coming up with random sounds. But if it sounds like Metal Gear Solid, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Y looks pretty good. X should be... Now that you say that... Actually, we won't need to worry too much about the last one because we'll be able to use the target translation. We just need to store that with the character, I think. Or in fact, we'll calculate it when in the movement function. But we need to understand what a good curve looks like first. So we go out too far, I think was the... We don't come back in far enough. So let's change that to 15. And then... yeah, we'll change one thing at a time. Just see where our problems are. Very slow, but hey, we're learning. It's fine. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. Not low enough. And probably doesn't go out far enough. Oh yeah, I got collided with. Yes, it needs to go further down and it comes back in too far. Okay. But it's a question of a few pixels, right? So call that 18. And this 25 or 20, yeah, 25. That is close. I feel like maybe a tiny bit too low and needs to come a tiny bit left. But apart from that, it's real close. Okay. So come a tiny bit left, so that's more like 27, maybe 28. And this, no, other way around. That it needs to be, call it 16. Did we say it was too low? I feel like we did. This is such a low-tech way of doing this, but never mind. You got to start low-tech. You've got to. You've just got to. Okay. I mean, that's as good as we've had. I reckon that's good enough for... That's good enough for proceeding. Especially when you add in like a little jump animation on the sprite itself, so like it bends its legs or whatever. Yeah. All right, let's continue with that. So to set that up, obviously we've added an initial one, but that's going to change anyway. So what we're looking at is add 10, add 25, subtract 15, add 16, subtract 23, but actually this last point will be the destination, so it doesn't matter, which makes it nice and simple. So we want our movement function, which is hideous, like actually hideous. Where is it even? Is it in here? Oh yeah, this horrible monstrosity of a thing. Okay. So we've got the target, which is good. Because that means we don't have to add to that horrendous checked move function. What we will do is in our player query, we'll grab and move curve. We're already getting the transform, so that's fine. And then we will what? We will change the curve. All right, so we need to query for the curve. Where is player? Here we go. Action state move, mute, jump curve. And then down here, we go move timer reset, blah, blah, blah. Audio play, stat score. and we will jump curve. Excuse me. I need a snooze button. Okay. We will jump curve equals curve. And we create a curve cubic Bezier new, and then our points. We need to calculate our points. So let Bezier, does it need to be mutable? No. Equals vec3. No, hang on. I need a reference. I need an adult. Here we go. Control points. Yes, transform translation is correct. Those two things are correct. And then we need target. I hope, is target a pos or is it a translation? Oh, it's a tile pos. Damn. Bugger. Because we do that calculation in checked move, which is a horrendous function that needs to die in a fire. So I suppose we can just use this. Let's go target transform. Really, I just need target translation, but I'll take the transform. And then target translation. Okay, so now we need cubic Bezier new control points to curve. And that will probably need to be dereferenced. And we've still got all sorts of problems. Oh, fair enough. No field translation. Oh, it's an option, right. Let some else. Oh, this is bad. I hate when we're returning this far into the function. Sure. Oh, right. Target, right? Or is it T? It's T. That does have type transform. So what are you complaining to me about? Target transform let mute target transform. Now it's saying, oh, I see. No field translation on tile pos. Yes, that's because we need target transform. There we go. All right, that was hugely messy, but that's okay. So now we essentially need the same code block all the way through. And we're also going to need a way to stop playing the animation, but we'll do that next. Okay, blah, 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 blah. If let sum t, blah, blah. Paste that in there. This is horrendous, but I don't care. I just don't care. Okay, now that is going to make a whole bunch of things blow up, and I don't know what, so let's find out. What is it doing? It's now describing a circle along. Oh, I see. It's because its current. I think I see what's happening. This is pretty funny. I think what it's trying to do. It's because its translation is being changed immediately, whereas it shouldn't be. It should only be changed at the end of the curve. That's so random. But it shows promise. We can do this. We can do this. We have the technology. We got ads. Okay. All right, so we can do this. Now what we need is a way to only change the translation of the move. Only change the translation of the kiwi after that curve. Because we don't need to change the translation in here at all, actually. So are we doing that? I think we might be doing it in checked move. Yeah, here we go. So we don't need this at all. Hey, Ahmed Malud, how you doing? So we can take that out, but we are still changing the player pause. So that's good, actually, because this function becomes a lot simpler. Steve? Still working on the bot? No, actually, we're taking a break from the bot. We're working on, well, I am eventually, yes, but we're working on a kiwibert clone, a 1982 game, for a bit of practice and doing various things. Learning heaps. So we don't need that, or... Oh, no, hang on. No, actually, that's right. Oh, that makes it much simpler. Oh, I'm missing tile pause. Okay. All right, good. Get rid of those. Because the animation will take care of it for us. Okay, what effect does that have? Well, at least it's going to the next one. Oh, it's not updating though. Oh my goodness. So now it wants to jump all the way from its initial position. That is not the intended effect. It's funny as shit, but it's not the intended effect. Okay. Cool. Hey, Justosophy. Yeah, that was not... That's cheating. It's like it just jumps all the way. So what exactly is going on there? I'm using the wrong translation somewhere. So we start with transform translation, but maybe that never updates now. Or rather, it updates, but like the target updates, but it doesn't... We never update our original translation to the new position, I think is what's going on. So that needs to... Or rather we do, but because we're repeating the curve, it translates back to its old position, which is just never going to work. So we need to stop this from running backwards and forwards. We just need it to run once. Jump all the way to the bottom, it's more efficient. You're right. I mean, it'd be a whole other game. So we get the player, and then we change the translation to whatever the thing on the cubic curve is. But how do we stop running it at the end of that curve? It feels like a either a jumping state or either a state or we track the index of the curve. Because if you look at their example, obviously it's just going backwards and forwards, right? And then, yeah, it just cycles around. Now, these are actually modifiable, I think. Am I right about that? I think I'm right about that. Maybe I'm not, actually. No. So... How do I just do it once? I can run while it's in a state. Feels a little clunky. Is there a way to... So position takes a point from the curve where 0 is the initial point and 1 is the last point. So what causes it to go backwards along that curve? T is time elapsed seconds sine plus 1. I wish I was better at math, or had paid more attention to math, or had, studied math. It's almost like you need if you're close to 1 on the curve, then stop animating kind of thing. Just curious, what happens if you take the divided by 2 out of here? I'm all about the experimentation. Where's Bruce Malta? I bet he would know this stuff. Probably. That's awesome. Whoa. Okay, well now I understand why we have the divided by 2. Whoa! He keeps getting bigger. Okay. Funny, but not getting the job done. By the way, can I make it faster using this value? No, that just changes the shape of things entirely. Okay, not what we're after. I suspect it will be a question of multiplying time elapsed seconds by speed. So say 2 times time elapsed seconds, like that. That does seem faster. Okay. So just checking what happens if we do 4. Is that sanctioned, baby? What have you got? Hang on, dogs have got something. Sorry? Okay. Dogs destroy everything. Someone's wrapping a present in the background. No, that is a dog destroying something. Oh yeah, okay, so that's definitely in charge of speed. Okay, good. So that's speed times the time elapsed, which makes total sense. So, I wonder if we want time elapsed seconds or time elapsed, or time delta. Wait, time elapsed seconds. That doesn't sound right. Because elapsed seconds is since the start of the program, right? I thought it would be time delta. Yeah, since startup. How does this change things? Okay. So no. What about, just out of curiosity? Oh, I didn't like that.
Tilly, come.
Right, okay, so seconds. Call it, oh, except delta seconds doesn't work, I think we decided. Why did it use elapsed seconds? I'm confused about that. Yeah, they're not there right now, sorry. Need to know more math. Need to know more math. Don't really understand. No sleeping, just terrorizing the place. That's exactly right. Whoa! That was a flying kiwi. I am speed. Oh, there may be a puppy coming into view. Hey, what's this camera? Oh, look, it's a camera. It's a camera. Yeah, it's a camera. Okay, so that is not getting us anywhere. We don't want that. We may want this. You turn the camera on for me? We may want this, which just makes things faster, but it doesn't solve our problem of the animation constantly playing. But we have solved our problem of, I think, the update point. Except that we're going to need to use a different curve depending on which way we're jumping. That's one of the problems. And it does depend on where in the jump animation we jump, because it's constantly updating the transform. That's what's going on. So we need to stop it updating the transform when we get to the end of the curve. So one thing we could do would be only to do it if cubic curve 0 current, like I want the current position is less than 1 kind of thing. You're off the camera, Tilly. There you go. Now you're on the camera. Ah, what's that? Good girl. Okay, so we need to find the current position. So cubic curve 0, what have I got available to me? What kinds of things can I look up? Current with current subscriber, position, edit positions or position. Hey, Panda Slam. Okay, let's go with, thanks for the lurk, docs, RSBivy, and we're looking for cubic curve. Or in fact, it's a cubic Bezier. She's probably, I'm cold, where's my cuddle buddy, right? I don't know where he is, actually. He's probably still destroying the other thing. So let's go cubic curve. Is there an end or... Because when we move, we reset the curve, right? So all we need to do is iterate until we get to the end. Acceleration, iter accelerations, positions, samples, position, push segment. How do I find the last position? Compute the position of a point on the cubic curve at the parametric value t. T varies from 0 to n points minus 3. I feel like I need some debugging here. Is greater than or equal to 1. This is wrong, but no, because this is always going to be a translation. So it's going to be an XYZ. So using a greater than comparison is stupid. What we want is within kind of distance. The position of a point on the cubic curve at the parametric value t. How do I tell if I'm at the end of a Bezier curve? Cubic splines. I don't suppose Big Green Robot will be up to date enough to tell. But let's find out. Compare the parameter t with its maximum value. Typically ranges from 0 to 1. Oh! Interesting. That was surprisingly helpful. So let's go if t is greater than or equal to 1, but we might need to add like a little bit of slush. Did I say Panda Slam? Yeah. There's a whole name origin kind of lore in there. I am only just learning it myself. This is probably going to need to have a little bit of slush room in it, but let's just try it. Like so. It can't possibly be that simple, but let's give it a go. Okay, it's never less than or equal to 1. Oh, greater than or equal to 1. Whoops. Less than 1. Do. It's still trying to move back. So I think it never gets to greater than 1. What about less than 0.9? I mean, this is just guesswork at this point. I want to see something approximately happen. And then we'll figure out the perfect way. Oh, it stopped. And then it jumped back. Stop jumping back. It's close. Oh, apparently I was at the end. Damn. Okay, so the problem is it keeps generating this. And we don't want it to do that all the time. We just want it to do it while we're jumping. So I think maybe it needs an understanding of whether or not we're supposed to be jumping. Because I think what we're going to see, if we log this value, we're going to see this go up and down all the time. So I actually think that that's not the way to do it. Maybe we should be using that lerp thing instead, right? A real mathematician would have done this ages ago. I don't care. Yeah, so look at this. It's constantly going up and down and up and down and up and down. Excuse me. All right. So that numeric value is not what we want. What we want is something that progresses to 1 and then stops. And it's a parametric value. Is a lerp used to calculate parametric values? Commonly used to calculate parametric values in various contexts, including animations, graphics, and curve evaluation. In the context of moving along a curve or interpolating between two values, lerp is a useful tool to compute intermediate values but based on a parameter t, which typically ranges from 0 to 1. Lerp in a Bezier curve. We can use lerp to find intermediate values. Generate points like, so this is doing it manually. Generate Bezier points. This is its function, right? So let's look at our use of lerp in 6 ways. I used transform translation lerp target translation t. And t is speed factor min. It's speed factor. Okay, let's get this whole block. Because this is, we're not caring about whether we're on a curve or not. We're caring about how far along in that distance from 0 to 1 we are. Stat speed, we'll just use a value. And we don't have distance, so hang on. Let's just comment those out. Transform translation, blah, 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 lerp target translation t. Now we don't have target translation in this context, but we do have the last part of the cubic curve, which is the target translation. Can you get that back out of the curve, I wonder? It's got segments, and those are public. So I could go curve, cubic curve, segments. Hang on, let's put this down here. Cubic curve 0 segments last, which I think returns an option. Yeah. But let's go unwrap for the now. And lerp should return no, this will return a vec3. That's not quite what we want. We want essentially a numeric lerp. We want a 0 or a 1. But that's interesting. Let's look at that formula again. I don't need to calculate the points along the curve. Lerp ABT where A is the start value, B is the end value, and T is the parameter between 0 and 1. How do you get the parameter between 0 and 1? I think what I need to ask is a different question. What we've got currently, oh, we got adds. That's what we've got currently. A program generates parametric value t using the following. This, of course, results in a t value that continually, when run in an update system, moves between 0 and 1. Suggest a way to move between 0 and 1, then stop. So I need to understand, because we don't want to be using sine. You can use a combination of time-based interpolation and a clamp. So that's using a timer. Updates t based on the timer and clamps it between 0 and 1. Do I want a timer? Do I need one? Do I need a timer to ensure that my jump occurs within a set period? Maybe I do. Do I have... I already have a movement timer, right? I think I do. I have an animation timer. But I think that's for falling, right? No, I've got a falling timer and a move timer. So that's the move timeout. I wonder if I could use the same thing to animate the moves. Oh, butt cam? You mean you don't like that kind of thing? Hi. You're on candid camera. Good girl. You go sleep. It's good. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry your head about it. It's like, why do you keep moving it? I keep hiding. I bet I could use move timer. Yeah. It ticks it here. So since I'm already ticking it, if it's just finished, what is T param? That's a timer and a T. Oh, I see. We shouldn't need to store it, surely. Can we get some measure of progression using the timer itself? Like its remaining time? Timers count upwards, don't they? Bevy timers? Repeating timers reset themselves. I'm not using that. Bevy timers start from 0 and count up towards their set duration. Basically like stopwatches with extra features. Okay, so if I was to use, what is the value of that move timer? What is it set to? Player move timeout, which is 40.45 seconds. All right. So if I convert 0.45 or a value on the scale of 0 to 0.45 into a value on the scale of 0 to 1, which just means multiplying it by 2, right? So that would give me what I need to animate, surely. So can you get the current value of a timer? Surely you can. So let's go. You could explain most computer programs like that, a stopwatch with extra features, right? Exactly. Okay, so we've got a timer, so we want... oh, I don't like that. I want it this way because alphabetic. And curve, and then we go and move timer. And then we get move timer. This is not going to be a thing, nor is this, or this. Our T value is going to be let T equals move timer 0. What is its current value? How do I get the value of a of a timer? Elapsed and elapsed seconds. All right. So elapsed seconds should be fine. What's the difference? Oh, that gets a duration. Okay. So let's go elapsed. Why do you not want to autocomplete? Oh, because I've misspelt you. Times 2. And we only want to do this if it's still running. So if move timer 0 finished, return. It's not the most efficient thing in the world because we're querying every tick without... actually, why don't we just do this? Cannot multiply. Yeah, sure. All right, I kind of like this. Let's see where we're headed with that. Let's see where we're going with all of this. Let's just see. The results are frequently hilarious. Oh my god. I think we're almost there. We're almost there. The curves don't always work, but we're almost there. Okay. There's some problems, but it's not bad. It gets more and more confused the longer you go along. But it's close. Yeah, it gets higher and higher because the adjustment's wrong. Cool. Interesting. And one of the problems is that the timer starts immediately on spawn, which is why that first jump looks so weird. And another of the problems is jumping back upwards does not work the way you would like it to. So I think at the end of the cycle, you always need to reset the translation correctly to to the correct target. Reverse and sideways, not optimal, yeah. Well, we've still got that whole topic of needing to flip the sprite over to face the other way and go back up like kiwibert does, but we'll get there. So that's cool. So that kind of works, which is exciting. It never actually gets to 0.45 times what is 1. Big improvement from Flying Kiwi, that's right. So 0.45 times what? 2.05? Oh, actually, you would think I would divide it, right? But I'm not that smart. 2.22. All right. I'll bite. This is a terrible, terrible hard coding. Let's see if that has any interesting effect, because I don't want it to stop short of its arc. That is actually better. It effectively resets itself once it gets to, once it starts going in the right direction again. That's kind of cool. Okay, good. So another thing we have to do is figure out what the correct curves are for the other directions and use different curves for each direction. Which means more hard coding. So I want to say that if I'm going the opposite direction, I just reverse all the values, right? So the first one is south. We know that southeast is correct. So southwest should be the opposite of southeast. Therefore, this should be minus, 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 plus, and then nothing. So let's see if I'm right about that. Nope. That's kind of funny. Because the swoop is the wrong way. So it swoops up and then straight down. That's funny. So how do I fix that? I need to transpose the 2 points on the curve, right? Or do I just need to come up with a completely independent? I have no idea what I'm doing. I should not put me in charge of heavy machinery. Oh, my camera froze. But then there's been looking at the dog the whole time. Cancel, go away, go away. Oh, why are you doing that? My cancel button doesn't work anymore. Oh, has OBS completely frozen now? Nope, we're good. Properties. Changing the frame rate for some reason, always unfreezes it. I don't know why. It's very, very strange. Okay. Now, move that back to 1, pop that up, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's close, but not quite. It kind of goes out and then straight down. So it's like a inverse curve. Let's think about this logically. Maybe what we're doing is what we should be doing is instead of reversing the points on the curve and the signs, we should be changing what we do to X and what we do to Y. On southeast, we go out 10 and down 10, out 10 and up 10, and then we go out 25 and down 15. So, yeah, I don't understand this. Hang on. That's what we did initially. So we're going, I see. The Y difference definitely has to be the same. The X difference is reversed, but the Y difference should be the same. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that gives us 2 directions. Now, for northeast, we need the same curve, but the y needs to go in reverse. So -10 and then +15. Does that make sense? I don't know. Let's try it. So this is northeast. No, that's the reverse of what we want. Oh, whoops. Okay, so we want... It's going out and then up. We want it to go up and then out, kind of thing. Yeah, okay. So, what do you think about this? It's going out and then up. For northeast, so... I think we need to reverse... Do we need to change the order of these? So that was the original, where we've got y being added to. But I'm wondering if we want to immediately subtract from y. No, hang on. Y needs to go up, right? -10, +15. But that resulted in kind of a reverse movement. So maybe this shouldn't be that. We shouldn't go out initially. That doesn't make sense, does it? No. Go away. Go away. Thank you. Nope, it's still going out and then up. Am I changing the wrong one by mistake? This is northeast, right? Yeah. So this is normally +10. It does make a difference, right? I'm not just changing the wrong block. Do you suppose? It's exactly the same as it was before. Ah, I bet that's the one I'm changing. Wait a minute. Have I got these mapped to the wrong thing? Let's make a giant move so that I can make absolutely certain that we're... changing the right bit. That's why I can't do game jams. Everything takes me forever. Oh yeah, that's definitely different. Okay. So I guess initially, go away. Thank you. Initially, I need plus X plus... I need plus X plus Y. I'm so confused why I can't just reverse these parameters and get what I need. So that's plus X plus Y, more plus X, more plus Y, and then the target. Kiwi needs a bat. Yeah, I know, right? Turn it into a combat game. Kiwi's not taking no for an answer anymore. Kiwibert 2, The Revenge. No, no, no. Why? What am I missing here? That's flattened it. I think you can move a little bit too fast as well, but never mind. The up curve is like 90 degrees off. I know, it's really weird. I'm missing something really obvious. Once I see it, I'll be kicking myself. So it should be going plus X is rightwards, plus Y is upwards. So you want to mark a point which is plus X plus Y, and then even more plus X plus Y, and then the target translation. Which I thought I was doing. So why it's doing this, I have no idea. Is it possible it's not overriding the curve properly? No, because it's definitely changing. It's essentially the same curve as southwest, just in reverse. So maybe I should do that. What's southwest? Southwest is this. So northeast has to be that can't be right. There shouldn't be negative values, surely. So confused. Oh, what? It's still wrong. But at least the curve's going in the right direction. Oh, I would love to understand this. So what happens if we're describing a curve, if we use the same control points as before? We got to add in a sec. That same control points as southwest. Surely that doesn't give me what I want, does it? No, definitely not. I think it's more like so why are we subtracting from x? We don't want to do that because that moves us left. Inverting a Bezier curve from Google. Multiply by -1 at the first coordinates of every couple. Ah, interesting. Interesting. See, you're keeping the y, and that makes sense because the y values you want. I don't quite understand why I would be. So what was it originally? So northeast is +10, +10. So up and up. +25. And I would say +15. Because you have to go upwards, not downwards. But this resulted in a curve on the other side that I wasn't expecting, right? Yeah, that results in an inside-out curve. Only a subtle one, but it's still there. Which means to me that we're going right when we shouldn't be. So in a way, we probably want to go left a little bit just to make it look like there's a curve. So if we change this, that makes us go left a tiny bit. Then we go right a long way. And we go up a long way. The isometric thing makes it a little bit tricky. It kind of squiggles now. So actually this should be a negative. But that makes it go left too. I just need to see it visualized, I think. I need a little arc following him, following him around. That's closer, but still way too far out. I think the second point needs to be higher and less far out. We need to think of them not in terms of like the path that he's moving along, but the control points for the path that he's moving along. So less of this, more like 15, and higher, so more like 20. In fact, maybe you should invert those two values. But I'll just get something that I think looks right. That's better. Needs to go higher still. Trial and error method, right? I know there's got to be a scientific way to do this, as you've just said. I wonder if there is an invert thing for cubic curve. There probably is. So it still needs to go higher, and then be brought down to the correct level. Translation y plus 10, x minus 10, x minus 15. I don't know if that's right. In fact, you might even need to start increasing it. Oh, that's really close. It needs to go higher and be brought down, like it needs to bounce up above and then go down rather than approaching it from the side. But it's really close. Okay, so this more like 15, this more like 30, and this, I think we need to start moving across. This maybe more like -5. I still want to see him kind of come down to land on it. No! Damn it. What are the odds it would go straight all the way down? Exactly 1 and 2, by the way. Yeah, that's real close. So, even higher. And that should be plus rather than minus. Maybe I should have just used gravity in physics after all. Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. I'm actually going cross-eyed from looking at the isometric tiles. Okay. So how does that compare if we look at this -520 plus 535 with Southwest? Southwest was -10, 10, -25, -15. I don't get that at all. Okay, so let's try changing this to northwest. So I predict we're going to have to make that keep the same y values, but reverse these directions. See if I'm right. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. I don't know if he really looks like he's jumping so much as kind of describing an arc, but maybe it'll be better once we add a jump animation. There's something quite artificial looking about it. God damn it. I need to get rid of that code that plays the movement animation at the start. So that could be thoroughly confusing. It does the wind calculation before it animates. So we should probably do the wind calculations at the end. See how the color of the square changes before you get there as well? So we should do all that after the animation plays. Okay. All right. But it's definitely making progress. So, I'm not sure how I arrived at those values, but let's go with committing that. Add jump animation prototype. Okay, now we need to remove that initial animation. So how do I do that? I need to start the timer as essentially closed or finished. Player move timeout, timer mode once. And then we tick the timer during our movement thing. But we don't want to tick it really until we've had a move issued. How do we decide that? It's almost like we could add it in a finished state. Is there a way to do that? Set elapsed. Set elapsed player move timeout, maybe? Is that ridiculous? Expected duration? Oh, okay. No. I should be so lucky. Duration from... Can you do duration from seconds? No. What do you mean undeclared type? I see. I wonder. Could I set elapsed in the movement function on the first run? Oh, this is messy. I need like an initial zero out the timer kind of thing. Oh, I know what I could do. Yeah, let's go let move timer equals move timer. Let move timer. No, don't you bark at them. They're nice dogs. Good girl. Don't be barky. Nobody likes a barky dog. Good girl. Okay, we could go, let move timer equals timer, actually mute, move timer equals timer from seconds, player move timeout, and then move timer, set elapsed, player move timeout. Oh, what did I, oh yeah, timer mode. Once. Okay, and then we can go move timer. Beautiful. What's the problem here? Oh, I got it wrong. Yeah, duration. I want to say from seconds, but I don't even know if that's right. No function. There is from 6. Okay. Why not? Seems kind of silly, but sure. Expected U64. As U64, that seems unlikely to work. Huh. Okay, cool. So we're saying set timer elapsed to stop animating a move before we're actually moving. I don't know if that's sensible or not. Let's find out. Nope, didn't work. Okay. And I think that's probably because in the movement function, we reset the timer, which is not helpful. How do I do this? I don't want to move unless we have a destination, right? So maybe I could do a check on the initial transform, on the initial translation and the control points. That seems clunky, but let's try it. So we'll undo, 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 undo. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so down in the animation, if transform translation equals cubic curve 0, what was it called? Segments? First, return. But hang on, that makes no sense. Because, yeah, it makes no sense because we still need to be able to animate the first move. What if I make the curve an option? What if I do that? So, it would be like, and then we only insert a curve when we've got somewhere to move. And then you could go if cubic curve, if let some curve equals cubic curve, effectively. Yeah. And so then we just never insert a curve until we've got somewhere to move. So in that case, we don't want to initialize it, which makes sense because why would you? Good girl, no barking. Quiet dog. Where are you? Quiet dog. Yeah. Good quiet girl. Quiet girl. Gentle. Quiet dog. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. Quiet dog. Excuse me, just training my puppy. All right. Here we go. So curve. Yeah, here we go. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And so we don't spawn one. And then we just only insert it later in movement. So this is going to fail. Because we're querying for it when we actually just want the entity. So let's get the entity. Oh, wait. Player entity. Don't query for the curve. There we go. And then we just go commands entity, player entity, insert, curve. All right. And we repeat it because we suck. Okay. So let's think about that. So we insert it only when we move, basically. Might make for a slightly funky timer on the first jump. It's the only thing I can think of, in which case we could also expire the timer right away. It seems fine. I definitely think there's some refinement to be done on those curves. But hey. Okay, so now we need to do our checks based on... let's go fix first jump bug. Now we need to do our checks based on after the animation. So how do we do that? We do our checks based on move timer finished, I think is how we do it. So where's our check when? Oh, in fact, we need to do a bunch of updates on move timer finished. Including flipping the color of the thing that we've moved to. So let's do that. Let's do in movement. We add score and we It's like a post-move hook almost. Because we do this stuff, we change the score. We still want to make the audio sound, I think. We reset the move timer. I think I'll do that here. And we changed the score, but we also changed the texture index of the target tile. I think we do that in checked move, which is probably bad. Yeah, we do. So we might be able to do away with a lot of this. We change player pause to destination. I think we could still do that, but not this. So what I actually want is FN post move. And I want to check on just finished. So let's say, oh, and I need the tile texture entity. That's okay. I can use player pause for that. So let's go mute player. Actually, it doesn't need to be mutable. Player. Query. Entity. Tile pause. Actually, I don't need entity. I need and tile pause with player. And then I need base layer, query. Don't think I need the tile map grid size. I just need, Let's sum e storage get destination, and destination is the tile pause, right? So I just need storage, I think. Tile storage with base layer. So we do the player query. So if let, okay, tile pause equals player get single. And the base layer, I don't see any reason why we would not be able to get the base layer, but let's just go if let okay tile storage equals base layer get single else return. And then we got if let okay tile pause player get single. Yep. Let sum e equals storage get destination else return. I have no idea why that wouldn't work, but I guess we could have. Oh, I guess if they're jumping off onto the falling state, we don't need to worry about that here, but interesting. We could we also need the timer. I've just realized This is what differentiates these two functions. Otherwise, they're very similar. And move timer. And tile pause. Okay, player get single. Storage get tile pause. And that's tile storage. Quiet dog, good girl. And then oh, no commands. Mute commands. Okay. Right, so if move timer just finished. And so basically do anything here that needs to happen at when the player lands on a tile. So we can increment score. We could play a little thud as their feet hit the ground, but we probably won't do that. Oh, so now we need to query for stats, which is, stats is a resource, right? Might be able to get rid of that. Oh, we got ads. So we can get rid of that. And we can also, we're already changing the tile color. Okay. And we could also put the timer reset in there. Seems to me. So we don't need stats anymore. Oh, maybe we do. Value assigned to target is never read. It will be though. Okay, so post move actions, good. Unused variable E. Yeah, because we no longer need to check it. So now we can go if storage get destination is some. Oh, actually, if storage destination is none. Then we don't need commands anymore. Oh, this is getting better. This is getting better. What's the go here? Oh, yep. Don't need commands anymore. Get rid of those. Cool. Okay. We're making progress. So the post move stuff needs to run. The post move stuff needs to run after update We've got movement, animate, jump, and post move. I wonder if that will do what I think it will. So what I want to see happen is for the tiles to start highlighting in a much more sensible timing. Interestingly, it happened there. Well, that wasn't good. I can't move in a sensible direction anymore. That wasn't good. Every move is in the same direction. Okay, well, I've screwed something up. Oh boy. Okay. So let's go to post move again. If let OK, move timer tile pause. If move timer just finished, let's E is tile storage get tile pause. Commands entity E insert tile text to 1. Sure. Stat score plus equals base score. But something's gone wrong with the oh, I haven't reset the move timer. Move timer, reset. And that makes it need to be mutable. And that needs to be mutable, and this needs to be mutable. Does that help? I don't know why that would help. Oh, sort of. Oh boy. What is going on? Okay, that's not what's supposed to happen. Move timer just finished. Do anything here that needs to happen when the player lands on a tile. What about just finished? Maybe just finished is too sensitive for this. Okay, well now I can't move at all. Whoa. What is going on? Am I resetting in more than one place? No? What the hell? Have I screwed something up about movement or checked move? Hey, Fanny. How's your Sunday treating you? Storage get destination is none. Next state set, game state falling. Player pause destination is Gouda. Excellent. I have no cheese. Well, I think we have some cheese, but it's not very good cheese. What is the time? Oh, it's 3:30. It's almost time for another cup of tea. We have major animation bugs to sort through. Some is tile storage get tile pause else return. That makes sense to me. We're querying on the move timer and tile pause with player. I think maybe if this runs before movement and checked move, that might be bad. So maybe, how do you chain things? Bivy chain systems. System piping. Outdated. Official examples. System piping. Update. Pass message system pipe handler system. Map. What about V14? Make a single system from multiple functions running in sequence, passing the output of the first into the input of the second. I don't really care about output or input. I just want them to run after each other. Chain. Not a stream. Schedule. Chain systems into dependencies. Run nodes in order. Show me an example. Maybe I just need it to run after. Maybe we just do post move after movement. Can I do that? It no work. It no bad. No. 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 Wrong. Stop. No. Bad. No. Bugger. What is it doing? How have I broken it? It was kind of working, but now definitely not. I reset the timer, and we still tick the timer in movement. If not, move tick, timer tick, time delta finished, return. That's fine. Isn't it? Oh, wait. That might not work because I'm resetting it here. And that happens anytime it's... Yeah, okay. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. Let's move this back to here. Maybe back to there. And same thing here. And reset it there, and then we're not resetting it over and over again. Oh, I think we're on to a winner. Okay, so now the color is changing when it lands, which is what we were trying to get. No, bugger. Bug. Okay, better. Oh, that skipped over several of them, so that's not good. Go away. Thank you. The sheep are chasing me. Okay, this is better. This is better. But this... It's still possible to skip over them, so that's not good. So maybe I need to switch back to just finished, because look at that. You can go all the way down without actually marking any of them. So, yeah, so post move. Finished. Just finished. Let's try that. Hopefully that should work. Nope. So you shouldn't be able to move until after those actions have taken place. I wonder if the check win thing works on the right timer now. Oh yeah, that's much better. So it's just a question of the repeated moves. Why is that happening? And I think it actually lets you move faster than you're supposed to as well. Oh, maybe not. Okay, why would that be? Why? Why would it not? If move timer just finished, why would it not change? I guess because... Okay, let's see if that function actually gets called in the right timings. So, info move timer. Move timer elapsed seconds. No, bad. Elapsed secs. I wish they didn't do that. And then if move timer just finished, we go info just finished. So the problem would be, I think, that it tries to do another move before we've finished, so it changes the topos. Okay. So move timer is, we get it just finished, but only at the end. And then we go move timer 0, blah, 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 0.440. Yeah. So it never gets to that finished state before it gets reset. Well, not quite. 0.449. It's like I need to use an event-based system instead. So like fire an event that says, do all your end of move event shit. Timers are fiddly, man. Or, is there such thing as almost just finished? It never gets finished before we reset it. That's the trouble. But if I reset it in here, then the movement system goes to hell. Why though? Probably because... Wait, what if I do the tick in here? So that we keep everything in the same place. Time is res time. move timer, tick, time, delta, seconds, finished. Oh, whoops. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Let's try that. So that it gets first crack at time each time, basically. But then we might get the reverse problem of not being able to move. Oh, that's actually good. Something funky about the movement. I think maybe just the curves. But we can work on that. Whoops. But it's certainly more reliable. Whoa! It's also easy to jump off the edge. Okay. Alright. Is the behavior in the original kiwibert that you... I think the behavior in the original kiwibert is that you... didn't color the first tile. Whoa, that's super loud. Sorry. Trying to find the start of a level. I don't think you're supposed to color the first tile when you land on it. No, you don't. Which is good, I think. But in this version, I do. So, how do I fix that? I need something that says if the player's moved yet or not. Like, is this the first move? Like a player state almost. Wonder if that's a good use for a state. Let's try it. Let's go. Player state. And we want the default to be initial. And then moving, I guess. Or has moved, or has started. Something like that. Then we could actually change those game states to player states, but I'm not even sure I want to do that yet. Okay, so we add that. Let's go to, I think it's in lib, we initialize game state. Maybe loading. Init state, game state. That's what I need. I love that I have a sheep plugin. Init state, player state. Okay, which is going to have a default of initial. And then as soon as we hit a key, we will update the state to moving. So in movement, we need next state, game state, which we've already got, but we're going to need Next state, player state. Res mute next state player state. And maybe a current state. Current or just player state. Think that's how we do that. No, bad. Current state? No. Can't remember how to do that. Apparently like that. So that is next game state. So is that. So is that. And that. All right. Now, if we move anywhere, wonder if there's such thing as if any input kind of thing with left wing input manager. Oh yeah, that can go. Okay, so we'll just do another repeated thing, and then one of these days we're going to refactor this whole function. If current state, if player state equals player state initial, next player state equals player state moving. Seems clumsy, but let's see how we go. Oh, set is what we need. What's the problem here? Oh, is it current? No? I need to get current state shit. Where is that? Alternatively, where the hell is my mouse? Oh, my mouse ran out of batteries. There you go. That's always fun. Surely that's a clear indicator that a cup of tea is required. Bivy states, cheat book please, thank you. Get the current state. Controlling states. Check the current state using the state resource, which is what I did. Oh, state get. Gotcha. Oh, dereference. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, cool. So we need that at the top of each of these blocks. Terribly repetitive, but it'll work. And then we only want to execute the stuff in post move. Yeah, actually we need post move to have its own thing. So add systems, update, post move, after movement, run if not in state player state initial. This feels really clumsy, and I feel like there might be a better way of tracking it, but let's just try it. Oh no. All right. So we need to take this one out now. Yeah. Run after movement, run if not in player state initial. Okay. Okay. Do. And we can't move. Yay. Okay, so clearly that's not the way to go. Post move after movement, run if not in state, player state initial. Yeah. Okay. Why is the movement code no longer working? Next player state set, player state moving. Yeah. What's the problem there? Player state get, player state initial. What is the issue here? Oh, we got ads. Does not need to be mutable. Sure, fine. Okay, what would stop our movement code from running now? I can't think of anything. Interesting. Or if not in state, player state initial. But that wouldn't stop the animation from working. Although actually we could also do the same thing with animate jump. Yeah, we could do like this. Run if not in state, player state initial. Yeah, that makes sense. But we should also run if in state game state playing. Not that that should make any difference. It's almost like the movement code's not running anymore. Why would that be? Is it because I added another state? I don't see why. Yeah, it's not running at all. Interesting. Well, let's prove it. Info. Movement. definitely running. We're just never getting there. Let's move the marker. We got play entity, action state, move timer, transform, mute tile pause. Let's make sure we're getting past all of our queries. Then we'll see where we're exiting. We're definitely not getting past all of our queries. So something's going wrong there. But what? The move time is not finished. Oh, I see. We're dependent on, right. We're dependent on post move to, right. We're dependent on post move to increment the timer, to tick the timer, but we're not running post move ever. Damn. So my post move function is kind of irritating. So actually, yeah. How can I do that? I have two conflicting requirements here. We're ticking the timer. But we're not running it because we're in the initial state. So, oh man. Timers, man. How do I get around that? How indeed. So I've got to change the tile texture, increment the score, but also not have that happen until the player has moved. So actually I need to do a move check independent of the timer is what needs to happen. And that will kick off the timer. Unless I start the timer elapsed. No, because that'll still change the initial thing. Actually, no, it won't, because if it's finished and we get to this point, then we move, and then we set the next player state. It's just crazy enough to work. All right, so this is the approach we were initially looking at, actually. So in init, let move timer, mute move timer equals timer from seconds, player move timeout, timer mode once, move timer elapsed 6, no, set elapsed, right? Is player move timeout. And then this becomes move timer. Yeah, so we need a duration. I don't suppose this is set elapsed seconds. No. Wait. No. Okay, so this needs to be duration from... Did we say there was a from seconds? Hey, Fanny. Undeclared type duration. Seconds and timers and timers and seconds. As U64. Yeah. So that means we're starting with an elapsed timer. If I understand correctly. Let's see if that improves matters. Nope, it doesn't. So it never ticks, so it never elapses. Can I set the elapsed above player move timeout? Nope. Damn it. Frustrating. So the problem is I need to check for essentially any key to be pressed. No, I need to check for a move. Right, undo, 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 undo. This does not work. Does not work at all. Okay. What's my problem? There's a loaded question. My problem is that, thud thud indeed. My problem is that do we have time? I don't think there's enough time in the world. My problem is this, if not move timer finished. But that means that we never get to the point of actually moving because we never change out of the state that allows us to move. It's like we need something that ticks the timer but doesn't do anything else. But if we tick the timer in this function, then the other function doesn't work very well. But why? Maybe I'm just getting too fancy. Too fancy for my own pants. See, my own pantsy. If not move timer finished, return. So it's this that's our problem. Maybe we need to do the state check in here. That's the problem. All right, that's what we'll do then. We'll do the state check in here. We still update the state there, but we don't stop it from running just based on the state. Which probably means we don't need these to be in separate sections. Kick Lycan out for work. It's party time. All right. Poor Lycan. Kicked out into the cold. All right, we can refactor that later, but now we need post move to only do the things that require if player state get the K has AC, he'll survive. Harsh. Does not equal player state initial. We'll do it this way. And then we need player state. So player state, res state, player state. Okay. Consider dereferencing. Sure. There we go. So in theory, that should do the trick now. In theory, I still don't love my movement code, but it's having to do some pretty funky, weird things, so... Hey, we got movement, and we did not color the top. Perfect. Okay, that's way better. The curves are looking a bit strange in some places, but we'll fix that. Whoa, that was not what I expected. Okay. Do. Okay. Finish him. Oh, it colored the top one. Shoot. It wasn't supposed to. Oh, because we never reset the state. Okay, cool. So that's a good tip. On end level, where is that? Next level, maybe? Yeah, next level. On enter game state next level init. Yeah, so we need next state resmute game state. So that's now next game state. And we need next player state. Yes. Yes, we do. What is your problem? Cannot find type player state. Well, you should be able to find it. Have I not exported it? No, I have not. There we go. Now we get to the errors and we find that that should be next game state. And we do next player state. Player state initial. Okay. Which means that when we finish a level, finish the level. Finish the level. No. Oh, yeah, and we need to do it after a death as well. Damn it. Go away. Go away, sheep. Go away. Go away. No. Leave. Bad. Okay, so this should not change color. Yeah, nice. Okay. So we just need to do that after a life as well. So in swear, maybe? Player, swear. Yeah. player state, next player state, NOP. Next player state, res mute. Next state, player state. And next player state, set player state initial. And then we do the same thing in falling. Somewhere. Oh, go bye-bye. All right. That's my problem. That's my we don't want to be continually setting that state. Thud. Yeah, well, you do make that sound when you hit the ground. Thud. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Because by this point the time has been reset. Yeah, that should be all right. So next state is next game state. And next player state. There we go. Cool. So that should stop us from, if we, oh, badness, cannot borrow as mutable. Okay. So rude. So if we leave that top one empty, and then get caught by a sheep, that should stay empty, and it does, until we actually jump onto it. Although you could argue that, I don't know, maybe it's better to have it, I don't know. Meh. Alright, and the same thing should happen. Oh, well, it can't now because we've... Let's finish the level. Those left... Those right-hand sided... Those jumps aren't quite right. Okay, so that should stay green. Yeah, nice. Alright, cool. Wow. That's pretty effective. What's the time? 5:30. Okay, so let's commit that. What did we just do? We did essentially jump timing, looping, etc. And in theory, it'd be quite nice to see if we could get a jump animation going. Yeah, because at the moment our player sprite, that was our life counter. Our player sprite is pretty one-dimensional, as in one frame. So what we need is more than one. How do you get this bottom thing back up again? Ah, there we go. Okay, so we should add a frame. In fact, maybe several frames. We'll add at least one frame. And we kind of want him to squat down and then jump up. So Maybe, whoa, chill. Maybe we just take the whole thing and move them down a little as a stopgap maneuver. Maybe even squat his head down a little bit. He becomes like a little squat kiwi. And then in the next frame, can he kind of spring up? Or maybe that's enough. I don't know. What does it look like? Maybe we need some intervening frames. Wee! He's a party kiwi. Yeah, he kind of needs a stretching frame, but I'm just not sure how to achieve that in this space. He could kind of come up partway. So we've got this frame where he's all squat down. And then he could sort of stretch up a little bit. Kind of like that. Hi. Not that this is necessarily the final version of the sprite anyway. Okay. So what would we want? We would want a version of the animation where he takes off, moves. You love being kiwi. Excellent. Flies through the air and then lands. So the animation would happen in reverse, right? So what about... I don't know how many is too many. So one should be like that. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Need to get rid of those. Okay, and then copy this one. Goes in there, goes in there. Whoop. We got ads. Oh, see, it's just creating more and more of them. Okay, so delete frame, delete frame. And so we've got We only want a total of B. We don't want that. So now we want the contents of this one. Wait, so when you land, do you kind of reverse the jump? I think we want the contents of this one in this one. But that just adds another frame, which is not quite what I had in mind, but never mind. And then we want the contents of this one in this one. And then we want just a normal one. Okay, so what does that give us? Okay, so we go normal, down, springing up, flying, springing down, springing all the way down, and then back to normal. Actually, maybe this one. So it's like, yeah, something like that. All right, it's worth a crack. But we only want to play that animation when, yeah, we only want to play it. Cool. So no, I don't want to do that. Cancel. We need to be in Sprite. So save as Sprite. Yeah. Okay, and then export sprite sheet. Like so. Only for most purposes, we're probably only gonna want output file, kiwipng, yep. Layout is by rows. And we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. Visible as all frames. Wait. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yes, right. Okay. So now, hopefully, in our player spawn, yeah, we've got 1 and 1, but we don't want that anymore. We want 1 and 8, right? Animation indices is first 0, last 0, but that should change when we jump. So let's just make sure we haven't broken anything. No, we're fine so far. Okay, cool. So now we need to update the animation indices when, yeah, when we move. Now the thing is, we're going to need to change the directions when we animate, but that's okay. We'll get there. So in animate jump, we need, on the movement function, we need to change the animation indices. So let's do that. And mute animation indices. And then our player query has to change. And we'll change it to, it's going to be 0 through 7, I think. Do. Animation indices equals animation indices what is it? First last. Okay, let's try that and go. Okay. And then in the end of the player move, which is post move, we do the reverse. So the player query has to have animation indices. Ding. Ding. Yes, this is correct. And animation indices equals first 0, last 0. Where's the player query? There it is. Yeah. All right. Now, what about actually playing them? Because we don't do that anywhere, I don't think. So I need to look up what I do in 6 ways. Maybe movement. Maybe player. Maybe stone. Character. There it is. Animation. Snag! Snag jump. I think this is it. Animation. Controls run F. What about characters mod? Maybe it's in there. Animation timer. I know I've got one of those. Here we go. Animate sprite. This shouldn't go in player, but I'm going to do it anyway. That should run if in state game state playing. And it uses a animation timer texture atlas. Yeah, that should work. So let's go movement and animation timer. I wonder if that'll just work. Oh, animate sprite. Whoops. Be great if it just works. I like to build up more of a library of things that just work. Snake is my favorite emote. It's one of my faves too. Definitely not Finn's piss bottle. Ew. Gross. Alright, let's try that. I have no idea what's about to happen. I like not knowing what's about to happen. We should have more experiences like that. Something tells me it's not working. I think I might have got the sprite sheet dimensions wrong. What do you think? I don't think it's working. Okay, let's try that again. Sprite sheet, dimensions, wrong, incorrect, bad. Bad. Go away. Don't need ya. Do need you. Okay. So we initialize the sprite and the texture atlas down here. From grid UVEC to 2424. I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. So what is that? That from grid function, what does that do? Tile size, that's correct. Columns and rows. Oh, other way around. Why would you not go row column? I mean, seriously. Which new streamer friend? I want a new streamer friend. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh my god, it works. It's a terrible animation, but it works. Like, it's a really bad animation. That's so bad. Now we just need him changing direction every time. But at least he animates. No, go away. He kind of hunches down when he finishes a level. Go away. Okay, cool. Commit that. Add a sprite animation. Now, one thing I was going to check on, is there a way to flip the animation around? Like, a lot of game engines will let you just, like, flip horizontal. Sprite flipping. Whoa, flashbang. Am I supposed to be doing something? What's going on? Oh, flipped on one axis. Okay. Flip the logo to the left. Oh, flip X, flip Y. So you could change that. Interesting. So it's on Sprite, which is part of Sprite Bundle. Let's just experiment with that real quick because it should be an easy experiment. We start in right facing. So for the other two, we'd want to go left facing. So in movement, we're getting a sprite. Are we getting a sprite bar? No, we're not, are we? This one movement function is just so ridiculously complicated now. And mute sprite. So mute sprite. And then, so on the west facing ones, we would just have to flip horizontal. But I have no idea what would happen in the animation. It would fail, right? Would it? Maybe it wouldn't. Okay, so northwest. Sprite. Flip X equals true. Oh. All right. But I guess you would... Oh yeah, no, that's right. So we just need it in southwest as well. I don't know, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. Ding. Oh my god! Oh, it doesn't flip back though. But it still works. And the animation works, which is kind of surprising. Okay, so hang on. So we always flip X, basically? But we wouldn't want to flip if we were already there. Oh, I'm so confused. Actually, no, we just need to set it back to false. Ah, this function. It's so bad. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. 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 Oh, that's so cool. No. Go away. All these sheep getting in the way when I want to experiment with my game. Oh my god, it looks so much more natural now. And now if I can get it to flip, I can't get it to flip vertically because that'll just turn it upside down. But I can come up with like an upward facing one. Although it almost looks okay like that. Oh, that's so cool. He's so much more lifelike. All right. Excellent. Okay. I think we need to commit and build that. And then I probably need to raid out so I can make some dinner because we're making some laksa for dinner. Some laksa, which is good for a winter's night. Exactly, dinner. Flip horizontal. Yeah, we got plenty, but might be a bit of a commute. Okay, started builds because it takes forever. Actions. Release flow. 0.5. Go. Go, release flow. Go, release flow. Come on, release flow. You can do it. I believe in you. Yes. Okay, cool. Now, who do we, first of all, who's on for the team? Why team no work? Oh, robot crashed. I've had it on for too long. The token was unauthorized. Yep. Year-end. And Wolfric, who's only got 2 viewers right now, we should at least add a few to that. So let's raid Wolfric. Excellent. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out with my weird bevy shenanigans. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Let's just connect it back to the parent. So that would be the tile map clickable area. Connect. Oh wait, we can't connect to that. Then let's go and connect it to our level 1 controller.
Hold up. I went to the toilet and I came back and I've been raided. Hello. How's it going? It's going alright. How you doing, baby? Almost 12-hour stream. Well, technically, if you look at my thing here, I've been streaming for 37 hours.